weekend weather alert days. See the hours for both Saturday and Sunday. Now we'll have to watch for more heavy rain and damaging winds.
Then let's play, Raleigh. Get ready for a playground like no other. From swings to rope climbing and waterfalls, we're taking you inside the brand new Gibson Play Plaza. And Chimney Rock Comeback, one of North Carolina's most iconic state parks, is ready to reopen after Helene. How it could get Western North Carolina's tourism back on track. Pretty quiet on the radar right now, except for that stuff off to the side. Don't look at that just yet. It is about to be a pretty wet weekend as it makes its way our way. A level 2 risk of storms on Saturday and Sunday. That's why both of those days are going to be WRAL weather alert days. Thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock on this Friday. I'm Dan Haggerty. So let's go to Mike. Mike, not exactly what we want to hear as we head into the weekend. It sounds like both days are going to see some storms in the afternoon.
Yeah, and I'll just stress it's not going to be a washout for the weekend, but you're going to have to dodge some showers and storms, and there's a good likelihood that some could be strong to severe. We have a level 2 threat, I should say, for Saturday. The timing that we're going with right now is from 3 o'clock till 10. Sunday, it's a level 2 threat for most of the area from 1 o'clock to about 8 o'clock. The primary threat's damaging winds and hail. And since we're in a level 2 threat, most likely we would see a severe thunderstorm watch, then a tornado watch issued at some point during the afternoon. There's the storm system, our upper level flow carrying storms in our direction. There's one batch here for Saturday. This batch will get here on Sunday. So the radar could be quite active as we head into the weekend. Now, tonight, part of the area has a level 1 risk for severe weather. There have been some warnings up to the north and thunderstorms on our doorstep. Take a look at the radar view. A shower moving over Mayo Lake and Person County. More thunderstorms heading into Caswell County. So we have those in the forecast for the next few hours. Check out Futurecast. 6, 7 o'clock, we see a few activity or shower and thunderstorm activity to the north. By 10 o'clock, there could be even more thunderstorms showing up on the radar. 2, 3, 4 a.m. as well. Coming up in less than 15 minutes, could be an active afternoon tomorrow. We'll check out what it looks like with Futurecast coming up in less than 15 minutes.
All right, talk to you then. Thank you, Mike. Meantime, stay with WRAL all weekend long. We'll keep your family safe. We'll keep you informed about the weather moving in. We have updates on all of our platforms, WRAL TV, WRAL News Plus, online in the newly redesigned WRAL Weather app. Make sure you have this new app on your phone before the storm arrives. You can customize, you get some alerts about weather where you are, and you can control the live radar. Brian?
Dan, some breaking news here in the WRAL Live Center. We're just getting word about a police chase and crash that happened this afternoon in Aberdeen. Take a look at this brand new video we just got into the WRAL Live Center. Apparently, they were trying to stop a suspect after a larceny from a store this afternoon in Aberdeen. The chief himself apparently was involved in this chase. It ended with a crash at US 1 and NC 5. 2 men were taken into custody immediately. A third got away on foot, but they were able to capture that person within the past half hour. We've learned that one of those suspects did suffer some very minor injuries, but no one else was injured in all of this. Highway Patrol is investigating, Dan.
The chief involved, getting back to his roots. All right, thank you, Brian. So back to the rain. We have more expected this weekend. Some people are still cleaning up. The rain, especially bad, hit Sanford really hard. The fire department tells us they responded to 25 calls during the storm. At least 3 of those involved firefighters helping people to evacuate a home or a business. One actually was a water rescue, helping someone who was trapped in their car. Nearly a dozen streets were closed. Thankfully, there were no serious injuries that got reported. But here we are 24 hours later. And, when you take a look at a vantage point like this, everything seems to be back to normal. The floodwaters have receded. Roads still a little muddy, but as WRAL's Sean Gallagher reports, if you look closer, some of the damage will take a lot longer to repair.
The floodwaters may have left quickly, but the memories won't.
It comes so quick, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that thing rushed in here.
Aubrey Cox has lived in this home for more than 40 years, so it's rare for him to have a first.
Never this bad. Now, I've seen it get up and get out and get here on the bottom, but never as bad as it was yesterday. It comes so quick, and it's like you want to stop it with an umbrella, but you can't.
All he can do is warn people.
We let people notice high water through here. It's an ongoing problem. It just needs to be addressed again right now.
Is there anything the city can do to prevent something like this?
Obviously, we're working all the time to try to figure out how to improve drainage throughout the city.
Sanford's mayor, Rebecca Wyhoff-Salmon, says they are working to have better drainage, which are included in plans for the Sanford Central Green Park. But that's still years away. And with another storm bearing down on them this weekend, they know Little Buffalo Creek's capability of being not so little.
That we are working as hard as we can to get this cleaned up and to make sure that we are working to prevent things from being a problem in most rain events, obviously, but this was really an extraordinary day yesterday.
Sean Gallagher reporting there. Thank you to Sean. We should also mention that the Tri-River Water Service Center says 3,900 gallons of wastewater overflowed yesterday. They say it didn't cause any environmental problems, but they're going to keep monitoring that, especially with more storms on their way coming through. Hey, let's get you caught up now on some of the other big headlines today. These are the 5 things you should know right now. An 8th person has now been arrested in connection with a mass shooting in Catawba County. This is Toland Huff Jr. He was taken into custody this morning. He faces 1 count of attempted first-degree murder. 1 person died. 11 others were injured in that shooting last weekend. The first man charged in connection to this shooting remains in jail now because a judge revoked his bond. Garen Killian was charged with attempted murder in connection with the shooting. That's him there. So heads up to drivers in Wake County. This weekend, some detours will be in place along Old Stage Road. Teams will be working on the Complete 540 project. Old Stage Road at 1010 Road is already closed. It reopens at 6 a.m. on Monday. Detour signs, of course, will be posted. Just be aware of them. Fort Bragg going to host President Trump on Tuesday for a display of military force. Hundreds of paratroopers and military equipment will be on hand there for a readiness demonstration. The president is then expected to deliver remarks to Fort Bragg soldiers and families. The demonstration will not be open to the public, but the remarks are expected to be open to the community. Of course, we'll do our best to cover all of that as well. We have a recall to tell you about. This is for Aldi shoppers. The grocery train is recalling what you see there, the Casa Mamita churro bites filled with chocolate hazelnut cream. So here's the deal. These churros have milk in them, but that's not listed in the label. Some people can have a real bad reaction to that. These are sold in 13 states, including North Carolina. If you want, you can return them to the store for a full refund. If you don't have a problem with milk, I say have at them. They look delicious. Not great for the summer body, but enjoy. The Tar Heels are 1 win away from a spot at the College World Series. They got to play at home today, hosting the Arizona Wildcats in the Super Regionals. The Heels were clicking on all cylinders. They went up 5-1 early, then 8-1 in the end. They won the game 18-2. It sounds like they got a couple touchdowns. Game 2 is tomorrow at noon. The all-new Gibson Play Plaza in Raleigh. It's amazing, and it's officially open to the public now. It's a nearly $70 million playground, all right? That's a lot of money for some swings. It's got a lot more than that. It has a swing terrace, sensory maze, market and picnic area for families, and so much more. It's ADA accessible. The park is over at Dix Park. It's huge, 19 acres, tough to miss. The project started in 2022, paid through a local parks bond.
And of course, people think playgrounds and they think about 3-year-olds or 8-year-olds, but this is really multi-generational play. You know, a dad can go down the slide with his child, or a bunch of teenagers might go, hang out in the amphitheater or playing in the waterfall. So this is really meant to be for everyone.
Miss Mayor, I like the hat. How about that? The park has a shuttle and free parking. You can find pretty much any detail that you want to know about this park. You can just pull up the story at WRAL.com or just go check it out on your own. It's going to be fun to explore. Downtown Wake Forest, now the latest spot to become one of those social districts. The drinks have to be marked when you're walking around. You can bring a drink into any business that has this sign out front here. As WRL's Destiny Patterson reports, it's a balance of bringing more foot traffic, but also being responsible.
Most businesses along White Street have a new sign out front.
You should be able to come out and take a drink and walk the district, and as long as you're not disruptive and stuff. Why not?
As long as there is a means for them to get themselves home safely.
Joanne Hayes used to bartend in Youngsville.
You had to pay more attention.
Which already has a social district.
Because you're watching to make sure, A, they have your cup.
While most people seem on board, some businesses aren't participating. Tonic Social Club posted on social media saying that it had some concerns about the current rules and regulations. Other people posted comments like, now people can roam the streets of Wake Forest drunk whenever they want. Or, I'm wondering how they're going to handle people who have overconsumed alcohol. Am I going to be safe? Commissioner Adam Wright says the social district actually encourages people to take their time with each drink.
You can take that drink over to the next establishment and everything. So this actually doesn't encourage that pounding of the drink.
He says the town is working with law enforcement to keep everyone safe and has clear signs of when and where open drinks are allowed.
Thank you to Destiny. Apex, we should mention, they are also launching a social district tomorrow. You're going to know which businesses are participating, again, by some signs that they'll have out on their doors. Apex and Wake Forest now make 64 total municipalities in North Carolina with these registered social districts. A gem of the North Carolina mountains will soon be back open and ready for you to visit 8 months after Helene. It's been a while, and Chimney Rock is finally preparing to reopen. How they got to this point and the work still left to be done. And for tonight's moment of nostalgia, we're going to take you back to high school. A classic story from the WRAL archive as students and teachers were gearing up for summer break. We're back after this.
Welcome back to the WRAL Live Center. Some breaking news right now out of northern Arkansas. In the past half hour, we've learned that the man known as the Devil in the Ozarks is back in custody. This is Grant Harden. He was captured after a massive manhunt in the mountains of northern Arkansas. Here's a picture from this afternoon. A former small-town police chief who was serving lengthy sentences for murder and rape, and he escaped from prison just a couple of weeks ago. They've located him just a mile and a half from the prison grounds.
Wow, right next door. Unbelievable. All right, Brian, can't wait to hear more details on that. The whole country was watching. Duke President Vincent Price says federal funding changes have dire implications for their university. Price says voluntary separations that have been ongoing since March may not be enough to save them enough money, and that some more layoffs could be coming. 24 groups with different Durham and Duke affiliations have signed on to this letter now calling for more transparency into all of this. They want to see some numbers. The letter pushes for more input on the budget, and it urges Duke's top earners, the people making the most money, to make a little less and take a pay cut.
When the universities are being transformed so profoundly, I think it is very important that that it be done well and that it be done with a kind of openness and participation that could help it be done better.
And we should say Duke is not the only university in our area feeling this pinch. Other schools like NC State, for example, have implemented a hiring freeze. The CFO of UNC Chapel Hill was focused on cost control, particularly around hiring, in a recent meeting. Some good news today for Western North Carolina. The iconic Chimney Rock State Park will reopen June 27th, but you need some reservations. 8 months ago, it looked like this. Man, I mean, it's still hard to imagine the devastation that we saw in that area from Hurricane Helene. WRAL's Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie reports that residents, of course, are happy to welcome tourists back, but their recovery still has a long way to go.
Chimney Rock is one of the main attractions for Western North Carolina tourism, so its reopening should bring a welcome bump to the local economy. But Helene survivors say it's going to take more than tourism to rebuild Western North Carolina. They came to Raleigh this week to tell lawmakers they need more help. When Helene hit last September, the floodwaters that swept through the Swannanoa Valley took Jenny Summers' wedding venue business along with them. She spent months rebuilding Hidden River events and hopes to reopen within a year. She says businesses like hers need more help to keep their doors open.
I've been using my retirement money, have received about $35,000 worth of grant money, but need, more grants for small businesses.
Summer is part of a group of Helene survivors from Swannanoa who made the trip to Raleigh to talk to state lawmakers about the need for more relief funding as quickly as possible.
Timing is of the essence. A lot of the funds that have gotten to Western North Carolina have already been delayed, so further delays are only going to be worse.
The State House passed a standalone Helene relief bill, but the Senate put the funding in its budget. Now the next round of aid is tied up in budget negotiations that don't appear to be going anywhere fast. Representative Lindsey Prather is afraid it could be months before there's a deal.
And that is absolutely what we need to avoid. They need to be dealt with separately. We don't know how long the budget negotiations are going to take, and Western North Carolina needs help now.
Senate leaders have refused to consider a standalone relief bill. Representative Eric Ager hopes they'll reconsider for the sake of his constituents in Swannanoa.
They're putting in the hard work to recover from this, and they just need a little bit of a hand up as we try to get through it. It hasn't just gone away. It hasn't fixed itself.
Laura Leslie, WRAL News, Raleigh.
And the mountains are so important to this community. I know it's something near and dear to your heart.
Oh, yeah, and they need all the help they can get. Now, for us around here, we're looking at some thunderstorms showing up on the radar up in southern Virginia, off to the west toward Winston-Salem. Dan, we're going to watch over the next several hours to see some of this makes its way toward the triangle. Zoom up a little bit farther to the north over toward Danville, where the Weather Service says winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour with this storm, maybe some hail the size of peas. And then this next thunderstorm complex moving closer to Roanoke Rapids and Northampton County. So Jackson and Conway, that might be in your future over the next couple of hours. We have thunderstorms in our forecast through the evening, 30%, 10, 11, 12 to 3 a.m. So when you join me tonight at 10 on Fox 50 and 11 on WRAL, there will probably be more thunderstorms on the radar. Now, we do have chances into the weekend, 50-50 shot tomorrow, 60% on Sunday, and then lesser chances now for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. Yesterday, the models looked quite wet for next week. Now they've backed off. So hopefully that'll be the trend, because I know a lot of folks would like to see some drying weather. Although I'm getting feedback on Facebook saying, hey, we could use some rain in our community. So trying to please everybody. 88 right now out at RDU. You're looking at the WRAL Gardens, looking rather quiet out there. If you want to find a cooler spot to be this weekend without rain coming around, the Gardens would be a good place to hang out. It was 91 earlier today at the airport. It's 88 now, feeling like 91, feeling like 90 in South Hill, feeling like 93 in Clinton. And the days ahead, the heat index values will likely be well into the 90s. So here's Futurecast for tomorrow morning, showing the small chance for a shower, lunchtime looking dry, but it's later in the afternoon, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, that we have the chance for thunderstorms that could be strong to severe. The coverage doesn't look all that extensive on the model. Yesterday, a good point. In reality, the radar looked rather fruitful with showers and storms. The model did not. So I'm wondering if the model's really falling short and what our coverage could be tomorrow. So 5 o'clock showing showers and storms, 7 o'clock likewise. And then after that point, we should have drier weather. There will be another complex of storms that comes in during the day on Sunday. And we have that level 2 threat for severe weather Sunday and into the evening. And there are the thunderstorms. They should be more widespread, more cloud cover, upper 80s to low 90s for the highs, 90 in Wilmington, 86 in Morehead City. And if you're heading to the coast this weekend, both days feature a level 2 threat for severe weather, so that area has the risk as well. So our forecast could not rule out an evening storm, maybe lasting till 1, 2, 3 a.m. Lows tonight will be warm, upper 60s to low 70s, and then for the day tomorrow, we'll be hot again. 91 out at RDU today, 92 tomorrow if we have sufficient sunshine, 94 Fayetteville, 87 at Roxborough. 7-day forecast, 2 WRAL weather alert days for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, morning lows. Look how warm they are over the next 7 days. Because the humidity is going to be so high, we don't have dry air in place like we did last week to lower those morning lows. And I think the days of having that are behind us. 92 on Monday with now just a 20% chance for showers and storms. Tuesday now down to about a 40% chance, 30% at night. Wednesday down to 30% chance for storms. And by Thursday and Friday of next week, high temperatures start to rebound. Only a 20% chance for storm on Thursday, 90, 93 for Friday with a 20% chance for storm. If you're going to be out and about this weekend, Dan, WRAL Weather Alert app, brand new. We'll notify you if any storms are coming, if there's lightning, if there's rain. Just turn on the notifications and you'll be covered.
Some great tools. Thanks, Mike. Only a few days left of school before summer vacation is upon us. Tonight, we're going to go into the WRAL archive for a classic summer vacation story from the 90s. I was thriving back then. That's after the break. But first, it's been a little while since we've checked in with our dear old friend Ashley Rowe, hasn't it? Where's she been? Here she is. Let's take a look. She's with her mom and her 2 daughters, Phoebe and baby Zoe, getting a little time out on the water. And how about a little picture of baby Zoe taking a nap? She's out cold, chilling. Looks like they're all doing great. I know we miss them. They'll be back before you know it, and I know they're enjoying their time away as a family. We're back in 2 minutes. Look, I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Technically, summer vacation doesn't start for Wake County schools until next week, and the summer season doesn't technically start until later this month, but why should we wait? We went into the WRAL archive and found a story right before school let out in 1994, simpler times. Thanks for making WRAL your choice for local news. Have a great weekend as we leave you with this, your Friday moment of nostalgia.
A lone sentry stands watch over Tarboro High School this afternoon, a monument left by the more than 900 students as they made their escape from the classroom to the freedom of summer vacation. Inside, school employees shuffled through mounds of books, looking for volumes to take back to their rooms for next year. But in the hallways, few students stuck around past 12:30.
Most of them going to be at the pool, some of them going to be working. And some of them, the seniors that's graduating, going to school.
All that remains of this school year are empty lockers and full memories, and the mixed emotions that come with the ending of each term.
I'm happy and sad. I'm happy because we're out of school for the summer, and I'm sad because I'm gonna miss my friends.
My fourth period was their last exam, so they were very excited about summer vacation, and that's why I wrote on the board, instead of writing 55 minutes to the end of the test, I wrote 55 minutes until summer vacation.
Oh, they were happy. They were pensive while they were taking the test. Didn't take them very long. And then they were happy and ready to go, ready to start summer.
As at every high school this time of year, some will leave for the summer, never to come back again as students, like new graduates Poppy Gainey and Brandon Hale.
Well, I feel great because, I never thought I would make it this far.
It feels great. It's exciting, but it's kind of sad to know that some of these people I'm graduating with I'll never see again.
For now, anyway, most students will only think about summer vacation and the great escape they'll enjoy until next year. Robert Carver, WRAL TV 5 News, Tarboro.